Today we're going to look at standard form of a linear equation. The formula for this is ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are integers. Therefore, there will be no fractions in this form. Let's take a look at an equation that was in slope-intercept form that we were working on. And in order to put it into standard form, we need to have the x and y on the same side. So my x is going to have to shift over to the left side of the equation. In doing so, we talked about moving a term. And by moving the entire term, we use an opposite. So minusing 2x is going to cancel out this term, giving us 0. We now have our x and y on the same side. Notice that I put the x term first. Negative 2x plus y equals 5. Part of standard form, this first term should be a positive. You'll see this on IXL. So in order to make that first term a positive, we're going to use multiplication. And I'm going to take this entire equation and I'm going to multiply by negative 1. And by doing so, we're going to negate every term of this equation. Negative 2x times negative 1 becomes 2x. Negative 1 times y, negative 1 times 5, negative 5. And there is our equation in standard form. So we are doing the reversal of last week. Example 2. Well, often with slope-intercept form, we're going to see fractions. So in this equation, y equals 3/4 x plus 2, if I am going to put this into standard form, I am going to have to get rid of our fractions. And if we think back to the beginning of the school year, we were taught how to clear fractions. Do you remember how? That's right. We have to find an LCD or an LCM, that least common multiple, that least common denominator. Well, there's one fraction. What would be the smallest multiple of 4? You guessed it, 4. So we're going to multiply this equation by 4. Just like in the last example, we multiplied everything by negative 1. 4 times y, 4 times 3/4. And by multiplying by 4 to 3/4, the 4's will cancel out. And then 4 times 2. We now have gotten rid of the fractions and we have integers as our a, b, and c. I am going to move the x over to the left side. So in order to do so, we are going to subtract 3x. New equation, negative 3x plus 4y equals 8. And as stated before, we need that first term to be positive. So I am going to multiply everything by a negative 1 to negate that. 3x minus 4y equals negative 8. So everything is changing their sign. Example 3. 1/3 x plus 2/4 y equals 3. And so in this example, I added a second fraction. So if we take a look, we have 3 and 4 as our denominator. So we need to come up with that LCM of 3 and 4. And that would be 12. 3 times 4 is 12. So common multiple is 12. I'm now going to multiply everything by 12. So 12 times a third and 12 times 2/4. And when I multiply fractions, I cross cancel. So I get 4x plus 12 times 2/4. 4 goes into 4 once. 4 goes into 12 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And then 12 times 3 is 36. And this is our equation in standard form. We can also reduce our equation. And I believe on IXL, it wants you to come up with the lowest equivalent equation. So 4, 6, and 36, I can divide all of those by 2. So I'm going to make an equivalent equation 2x plus 3y equals 18. And today's objective is to take equations that are in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, and transform them into standard form, ax plus by equals c.